maybe a little busier. You know, the offers went up from 25 million to like 100 million a film.
Oh, yeah.
You know, other than that, no, I'm joking. Not at all.
Still find a hard time meeting women, though? I imagine that's still difficult for
It's still the same. It's weird, you know. I don't know. If I don't have that big beard, 6 feet long, I don't get anywhere with them.
No, but you
It's
mentioned...
been amazing. I have to say, it's you know, it's finally, I have a movie that people have gone to see.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned the last time you were here, you're on your way to the premiere. Now, did all these Scotch relatives, you mentioned them. To me, see, half of my family is Scotch relatives. There's nobody funnier than the Scotch people. Did they all get it? Did they all want houses in Monte Carlo now because you're a big star? I mean, are you getting a lot of that?
More like trailers.
Trailers.
My mom's going to kill me, actually. I have to say, the last time when I was telling this story on here, and I said very quickly, I was talking about maybe paraffin fires up our heater, and I said we were very poor. My mom never commented on any of the show except, what do you mean we were poor? People in America are going to think we're trailer trash. And my brother said, yeah, Mum, I'm sure everybody you meet in your little village in Comrie, all those thousands of Americans are going to look at you and go, look at that trailer trash. No, they in some ways, yeah, it's kind of, like you say, it's funny. My mum's like, oh, no, son, we'll just take the train. So they all came down in different, some of them hitchhiked, and some of them walked.
Come down
500 miles. Not quite. I'm joking, Mum. Everybody knows that's a joke. So.
But did they get how big it is? Like, I know when I first...
I mean, I think she knows, because she tells everybody. Yeah. Even if the people don't know, she's like, you know, my son's Gerard Butler. They're like, who's that?
Yeah.
No, but it's more... the whole family were very nervous about coming down. You know, my brother was actually very shy, and then they come down, and I go into the VIP area after the premiere, and they are holding court in the middle of the... I mean, they got more attention than I did.
Right.
And my mum's coming up, and we call it game in Scotland. You're really game. She's like, oh, son, this is great. I met so-and-so, and I just met Zach, the director, and Vincent. And it's like, great. And then two of my... Thanks,
Now, you almost didn't make it here today, because yesterday you had a car accident. What happened?
Yeah. Scary, huh? I apparently have whiplash. But I don't feel it because I don't feel pain, because I'm my Spartan. It's amazing what adrenaline does. But yeah, I was on my way to Fox late as ever, and I was going to meet. It was actually one of the presidents of Fox, so it was a big meeting for me. And of course, I'm late, and I turn into Pico. Well, I wasn't late for insurance purposes, but for you, I was late. I turned onto Pico, and this, and again, anything you hear that's got to do with insurance can just be deleted from the memories of those who hear. But the fella went to do a U-turn.
Oh, you mean he
pulled from a parking space, right? And then he sees me and stops in the middle of the road. So I'm like, I was amazed at my calmness until later, but I'm like, okay, I'm going to crash my car now. And I tried to swerve, no, I'm going to hit him. And I hit him, and I parked the car and got out. And I was amazed how calm I was until he said to me, I don't know what happened, man. I mean, come on. I looked around, you weren't there, and then I pulled out and you were. Like it was my... So I got really, really angry with him, and I was starting to have visions of ending up in jail. And then he gives me his ID, his driver's license. And by this point, I'm angry, and I look and I think, that's not you. He's like, what's this guy, joking? I'm like, that's not you. And meanwhile, this Indian fellow's come across the road. I have all these guys coming across the road going, don't worry, I saw it. Don't worry, I saw it. You're okay. But this Indian fellow comes across, and I go, did you see it? And he went, I heard the noise. But that's my auto repair shop over there. So here's my card, and here's my card. And I'm like, but is that him? Because that doesn't look like him. And he's like, oh, I don't want to say. He doesn't know who he's going to get the business from, So he's like, I don't want to say. I don't think it looks like him, but maybe it is. So anyway, and then I said to the guy, great, I have a meeting with the president of Fox right now, and now I've missed it. And he's like, well, we all got our things to do. Which I kind of thought, actually, you're right, we do. Massive. But I didn't answer. That's not what I said to him. I said, well, you shouldn't have gone in front of me, though. So anyway, but for this, I'll say that I actually saw the justice of it.
Right, exactly. Well, look, more with Gerard right after this.
Do I ever shut up? Now we was thinking I was such a big, strong man, and I stamped this sword on the ground. I stood up again, and I couldn't get out of the ground. It was like, you know, it's like, damn, you know. But also, this was the sword, they said to me, the organisers, this is a charity event, so actually a wonderful event to kind of encourage talent from Scotland to make their way. But the organiser said to me, we have the sword of William Wallace. It's never left Scotland before. Wow. So I demand, somebody else took it on, but I said, please give me, you know, let me take this sword. And I look at the blade and it says, made in India. So I'm still trying to work out this is the sword of William Wallace. Really? And then I take it backstage because I think, you know, I've used a sword in a few movies. Yeah. But this thing's 25 feet long, you know, so I'm swinging it outside and I keep hitting the floor and hitting the roof. And then I'm about to go on and this woman walks up and I just feel this hand on my sword and she said, I'm sorry, sir.
What was that again?
And her other hand on the large sword. You still don't know which one I'm talking about. And she said, I'm sorry, sir, but you've been drinking alcoholic beverages and you might hurt somebody with this. I have to take it off. And I said, listen, darling, I haven't had a drink for 8 years. I've been trained to use a sword in 4 movies. Piss off.
Home when you go back to Scotland, is it a... Do you know what your tartan is, by the way?
Well, my name's Butler, which is actually an Irish name.
Yeah, okay. I'm a Muir. My mother's a Muir.
Do they have a tartan?
Yeah, oh, you got the Muir tartan. Yes,
do we have
a tartan? You asked me to, laddie.
Oh, that's another thing. The organisers said that they've invited you to, you know... Who wants to see Jay Leno in a kilt?
I want a kilt. Oh, yeah.
Well, you got to come and wear it at this
I'll
event.
come sometime. Is that the Highland game thing they do?
No, it's called dress to kilt. That's the thing you just...
Dress to kilt?
Dress to kilt. Yeah. And... But yeah, no, I've worn a kilt. I wore a kilt for my brother's wedding and for my sister's wedding, and they were both disasters. My sister's wedding, I had to do a reading. You know, it was a Catholic ceremony. It was a big Catholic ceremony. There were 400 people in the church, and I walk up and I do a reading, and then I sit down to face the congregation. I know. You know what's coming. My mother is in the front row, and she's looking at me, and I'm looking at her, and she's going... Okay, I think she's telling me to pray. So there's only, and I go, and I'm like this, like that. And as I'm sitting like this, it's just like, and then I suddenly look down and I go, no. And then at my brother's wedding, I was the best man, and I had to make a speech, and I was so nervous. And I go into the cubicle in the toilet, and I have my speech, and I'm sitting there in the cubicle, and I'm doing that, you know, I'm reading the speech, and I'm going, because I'm trying to be a comedian in this speech. And then I stand up, and I feel dripping on the back of my legs, and I'm like, oh no! And then I go to the dryer, and I'm on in 5 minutes, and my ass is showing to the world, and I'm using the dryer. And all these people are coming in going, you know, hey, you're on. And I go, I'll just be there in a second. I'm just right. So it's not really the Braveheart that you would imagine.
No. Now tell us about Game of Their Lives. This is a soccer movie, isn't it?
It's a soccer movie,
But a little different, though. A little different. Tell me what it's about.